Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Hello, good to see you. So I'm here to do another book flip through. I know. I said I wasn't going to do any for quite a while. Well, I ended up buying some more books, but I had a really good reason for it. I don't know whether to just... I will show you the book whilst I talk. That will be the easiest thing, otherwise this video will be quite long. So let me see. Where can I put the candle? Something like that. Okay, so I'll tell you the story after or during. For now, I will tell you about the book. So this is the illustrated Lark Rise to Candleford by Flora Thompson. Some of you might know Lark Rise to Candleford already because it is quite an old story from the 1940s, I think. Anyway, I've had this on my wish list for a while, and I finally picked up a copy, and I will explain the story behind that in a moment. For now, I will focus on the book itself. So this is a hardcover, and it's got all kinds of fluff and dirt and all sorts on it. But it's beautiful with this, red and white polka dot. There's the back with more dirt, and yeah, that. It's a really nice fabric cover. It almost feels like I don't know, like a really thick, heavy cotton or linen. Okay, so let me read you this first of all. So Flora Thompson's trilogy, Lark Rise to Candleford, is one of the best loved of all books about the English countryside. It was published 40 years ago, at the time of writing. This book's from the 1980s, and the past it describes is now a century away. Yet it remains perhaps the most vivid, detailed, and immediate portrait of country life ever written. Flora Thompson herself was a cottage child born in 1877 and brought up in poverty in the tiny Oxfordshire hamlet of Juniper. Juniper is renamed Lark Rise in the book, and Flora calls herself Laura, just to confuse things. From the age of 5 to when she left school at 12, she and her brothers and sisters walked each day the 3 miles to Cottagecore, Fordlow, where her teacher, Miss Holmes, used to say, "Oh, Laura, what a dunce you are." But Miss Holmes was wrong, for Flora possessed the literary gifts, the eye and memory for everyday detail, and the intimacies of experience which would one day combine to produce this gentle masterpiece. In the 1880s, the countryside was on the brink of unalterable change, and the march of progress would soon wipe away the unique idiosyncrasies of a centuries-old way of life. But Flora Thompson was born in time to capture it before it vanished forever, with her unforgettable gallery of characters: Old Sally, Miss Lane the postmistress, Sir Timothy, Miss Macy, and the rest, and her unsentimental but deeply affectionate account of the humble details of the life she knew. So yeah, it's really English countryside days gone by. And of course I bought it for the illustrations, but from what I understand, the book itself is a really nice story. So this particular copy is from 1983. The original Lark Rise was published in 1939. And then you had Over to Candleford, which was in 1941, and Candleford Green, which was 1943. And then they had the whole trilogy put together as Lark Rise to Candleford in 1945. So that's just to give you a backstory there. This book is obviously all three together now. So let me just move this out of the way and we can continue. I'm getting a nice whiff of strawberry again. I'm still on my strawberry candle. But yeah, it's the illustrations that I bought this book for. So for me, I'll be using this book in my secret garden project, which is coming soon. I have done an intro video for the whole project because it's a big one. It's a months-long, massive project for me, but I'm very excited about it. And this is a book that I saw as being, not every image is appropriate for it, but a lot of it is for my secret garden, for the cottage and the countryside and the vintage side of it. So I promised you a story. How did I go against my book buying ban already? Because I said in the last video, I had plenty of books, I didn't need any more, and within a week I think I completely went against my my whole being, you know. The reason is I have a shop. It's about a 45-minute drive from where we live, and it's called the Book Barn. I've mentioned it a few times. It's basically this massive converted barn that's been converted into a warehouse that sells books. They have a cafe in there with tea and cakes. They have an antique rare bookshop next door as well, where it's like, I go in there to look, but I would never ask about the prices. That kind of antique bookshop. But then the whole barn itself, you can pick any adult book for £2, regardless of what the book is or how old it is. It's £2, and they're all used, and for the most part they're all, you know, completely vintage. I haven't come across anything new. They're all vintage in there. A wonderful shop, my heaven on earth. And can you believe it? They're closing. I know. They're closed at the end of July, so by the time you see this video, they will already be closed down. Unfortunately, the company that owned the whole complex, they went bust. Yeah, you can sense my my heartbreak at that. Where am I going to get my books from now? Obviously there's eBay, but you know, it's so much different to be able to walk through a used bookstore and pick things up. Anyway, so long story short is they were closing. I saw on Facebook that they were closing. And my husband and I went to see some friends last weekend, or it was the weekend before they closed. And when we were looking at Google Maps for directions, it showed us that the route that we were going to follow was the exact road that the Book Barn was on. So we decided that once we'd finished being with my friends, we would call in on the way home, just on the off chance we'd be able to find some books. Because the last time that we went there, my husband had found 3 Edith Holden books, you know, the Country Diary books, as I say, for £2 each, which is, yeah, amazing. Didn't find any this time, but we did find a Nature Notes. Is it called Garden Notes? Not Nature Notes, Garden Notes. You know, the one where it's got like the diary entries that you can fill in yourself. I managed to get one of those, and this one. I'm sure there was probably more that I could have looked at, but we only had an hour before they were closing. So that is the story as to why my book buying ban didn't last very long. And then I promptly bought some more books for my secret garden project, which were a must. I had to do it. And I will show you those in separate flip throughs as well. So that is my story. That is my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. In terms of this one, this is for my secret garden project for the most part, and I'm hoping that you've been looking at these as I've been, you know, nattering away, because the images are wonderful, absolutely wonderful, and they're a nice size for large journal cards. They fit within, you know, the florals and the greenery and the cottages that I want for my secret garden project, whilst bringing in the vintage, olden days side of things. And it's funny because even the text pages have these illustrations on, which I could either fussy cut out or turn into, you know, turn the whole page into something. But yes, it's these illustrations that I wanted for the most part. Not all of them are going to be relevant for my secret garden project, but a lot of them will be. You know, for example, this could easily be Mary and the boy that she meets in the secret garden, or at least, you know, on their way to the secret garden. So from that aspect, this was a good find. And as I say, it's been on my eBay wish list for a long time, and then yeah, I just happened to see it when we went to the Book Barn. So like this is very much secret garden-esque, isn't it? Really lovely. So I may use some of these as journal cards. Some of them can be journal toppers perhaps. And then other ones can be behind windows and doors for that sort of like looking through the keyhole, looking through the window type of vibe, or through the gate kind of thing that I want for the secret garden. So as I say, I have done like a proper intro to the project to show you all of the books and the papers and just everything that I'll be using and the concept for the whole project, because it's a big one. It's a big one, but I'm very excited. Aren't those ladies lovely? Their wreaths. The images in this one are very romantic, I think. I don't know, is romantic the right word? It's like dreamy. I feel like they've got that kind of a tone to them. Isn't that sunset or sunrise? Which one is it? One of the two. Isn't that lovely? So yeah, this is Lark Rise to Candleford, the illustrated version. And as I say, I've seen this exact copy, you know, with the red cover and everything on eBay. So that's that. Lovely orchids. I could fussy cut those out if I wanted to. So yeah, not all of the images are secret garden for me, but a lot of them are, or at least some of them are. And then the rest can be used in different projects. I think the pages are stitched in. They are. They are stitched in as well, which is great. So this is very much how I deem secret garden to be. You know, you've got the cottage and the trees and the flowers and the olden day ladies. I don't know, the ladies, let's just call them the ladies. This to me is what my secret garden looks like. And I explained about that in the intro video for the project, is although I want it to have elements of the story, like the original story in the project, so, you know, there's going to be a robin and the animals that she meets and things like that. For me, my secret garden isn't this big mansion, it's the cottages that you want to walk through the garden gate for, and then it, you know, becomes this magical place. So that's how I'm interpreting it. Obviously with artwork and everything is your own interpretation, isn't it? So that is how I'm thinking of the project, and that's sort of why this book came into it, as being helpful for that. I mean, just look at that. That to me is secret garden. That to me is a journal cover, to be fair. I love it that much. And I love just like sitting here and picking out the detail of these images sometimes, you know. Just, yeah, I love it. I want to live there. One day I will live there, but, you know, maybe with somebody have fixed it up a little bit maybe, but in terms of like the roses creeping up and you've got the pots and the broom and just, yeah, so romantic for the project. So yeah, I love it. And I know there's several of you who are loving these images as much as myself. So hi ladies, if you're watching, you know who you are. I know who you are. You're definitely enjoying these images alongside myself. So thanks for joining me. But as I say, they just have such a, I think it's the style of the paintings, isn't it? It's almost like Monet-esque. So if I bring you up, can you see how it's sort of like, it's not like crystal clear, it's sort of like, it's that Monet dreamy, like smudged, blurred type of art. You know what I mean, right? It's not just me that thinks that, I'm sure. So in terms of, yeah, all these pages, you know, we've got fussy cuts, we've got journal cards, we've got toppers for journals, we've got entire pages. That is very secret garden. Love it. Things to go in frames and, you know, for flip outs or for, yeah, for so many different things. Look at her, the rosy cheeks posting the letter. The post office. So yeah, I mean, these are more sort of just general vintage is how I would describe them, but a lot of them, yeah, really, really work for my project. So I thought I would show you. And I know several of you have been really enjoying these book flip throughs as much as myself. So yeah, as best as I can, I will keep on doing them as I find these books that I think that you'll like. So isn't it lovely? For me, it's Secret Garden. That's how I'm going to be using them. But they're very much like Cottagecore. Is it Cottagecore? Is that what you call it? It's an aesthetic called Cottagecore, I believe, which is the cottage side of things, countryside and everything. It's a thatched cottage there. I do wonder, the village that I grew up in had a lot of thatched cottages. It was that old. And I do wonder how they actually did with the heat that we had recently. Here in, well, not here, but in London, it got to over 40 degrees Celsius at one point, one of the days. My website's had a meltdown, which I've probably moaned about a few times in a video by now. It's beautiful. Isn't that lovely? Again, with the flowers and the brick, the cottage, the people from days gone by, all of that. It's just, yeah, for me, that's my secret garden. Yeah, my website's had a meltdown in the heat. Extraordinary that heat can cause things like that, but I do wonder how the thatched roofs managed. Yes, my thoughts are with them if anything did go awry, but we're out of that now. The weather has gone back to being weird, for want of a better word. I'll just bring the candle in, which is still going, but just barely. Yeah, the weather has gone back to being weird UK weather, where you're not really sure what it's doing. You know, right now it's overcast, standard, but you know, the last few days it's been sunshine and then suddenly dark clouds appear from nowhere, or the other way around. Yeah, it's gone back to being odd UK, what we're used to kind of weather. The heat we were not used to. So anyway, enough about that. It's all fine now. So yeah, as I say, that was my story as to like why I have purchased yet another book. I'm absolutely devastated that the book barn is closing, but you know, it is what it is. These things do happen. I'm still hoping and praying that whoever takes over the book barn, or the barn, I should call it now, can they just bring the books back? Can they just, like, somebody buy it and give us more books, please? I'm putting it out into the universe with the idea that maybe someone's listening. Anyway, so yeah, that is this book, The Illustrated Lark Rise to Candleford by Flora Thompson. Beautiful book, and I hope you'll agree. It's for me, I keep calling it Secret Garden because that's just how I see the project, but this one would really suit vintage and botanicals and countryside and cottagecore, all of those sorts of themes, you know. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing that. And just, yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. I feel like that candle is going to go anytime soon. I'm going to keep it on, keep it lit, whilst I go off and do some other bits and bobs. And then I'll have to get another one. I've got... That's just me dropping things again. Yeah, my husband bought me a set of 4 of these. They've got, you know, they're nice, they got nice patterns on, all different colours and kind of like boho-like. So I need to choose a new one once that one's gone. So as I say, that one was strawberry. This one is gardenia. Is that a type of flower? I can't open it though. I've had these for so long because I only put them on when I'm writing. And then of course when I started doing these flip throughs. It does smell very floral. Yeah, maybe. I think the strawberry one is my favourite, but what's this one? Rosemary. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Ooh. That's interesting. Rosemary candle. I think I might go with that one. There is another one, I think it's in the bathroom, which is it was a green tin. I want to say that one was like mint, maybe? Yeah, the rosemary one is really interesting. So I think I will keep that one out with the idea that that will be the next one. But yeah, I need to get back into the habit of buying some candles, because if you want me to keep on doing these book flip throughs, then I need to stock up on candles, because it's been a real pleasure for me doing these, as well as for some of you that have said you've really enjoyed seeing these and hearing me talk about them, and my random stories. So yeah, I will I'll keep doing them as I do get more books, as I've said. Apparently I have got more books quicker than I thought I would, because I've got a bunch of Secret Garden books that I want to show you as well, which I'll do on the next book flip through. But for now though, I wish you a very lovely day, and I'm going to go off and do something else. More work, you know. Work, well, I say work, it's not really, it's playtime, isn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah, I hope to see you on the next video. We're working on Tim Holtz this month, aren't we? And we have started our Secret Garden ephemera. I've not put out the intro for Secret Garden yet. That will be coming soon. Probably September, because I think that's when I'm going into like full mode, Secret Garden mode. So yeah, anyway, I'll stop my blubbering. I've shown you the book, that's all I needed to do. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon, and I hope you've enjoyed this one. Bye bye for now.